thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder, 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 feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder, 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 feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder, 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 feel the thunder.
Hello everybody. I know this angle isn't the most flattering angle. It's not focusing on my face. There we go. But we're going to deal with it today. Anyways, so today's video is about me. And this will confuse some people, but that's okay. We can talk about it. And let's get started. Okay, so title of the video might shock some people who know me, but that's it. I'm all about that. And it's not clickbait, so I hope you guys don't think it's clickbait. It's definitely not. Anyways, the title of the video, as you can see, is I'm straight. Question mark, question mark. Okay, so I guess we'll start way back when I was younger. Okay, so oh boy, we're taking it real far back. We'll start third, fourth grade. Where you kind of have you start to develop who you are around that age. You know, third, fourth, fifth grade. I remember it was in between third and fourth grade. I was really in love, with this one girl, and she probably won't watch this, but I'm not gonna say her name. But I remember I was like, oh, like, she's so pretty, she's so cool, she's so popular, and I was like, I didn't know the way things worked. I was not smart. So I was not sure how things worked, so I just kind of walked up to her and I was like, do you want to get married? And she was like, no. No, I don't, no. I was like, cries. Okay, whatever, bye. And that was kind of like my first attraction, I suppose, to females. I was like, okay, like, whatever, guess you're not interested, it's okay. And no one really taught me at that point that was like, it's a numbers game, and as terrible as it sounds, like, you'll find people who are into you, you'll find people who are not into you. It's all about numbers. And it's just, you ask the right amount of people if they want to go out, if they want to hang out, get to know you. You'll get your no's, and you might get a yes. It's all about numbers. So at the point I was kind of like, oh crap, well, she didn't like me, so I guess girls don't like me in general. So what am I supposed to do? And so you're growing up, and you're fourth, fifth grade, and you're hitting like all these hormones, and you're growing up, and you're hitting puberty, and I mean, I was the only one, well, I was the only guy who had facial hair in fifth grade. So I was growing up really fast, and I hit puberty really fast. And you're in like fifth grade, and everyone's like figuring out who they are. Some people can't decide if they want to be the cat person. You know, the cat person where like you ask them their name and they're like, meow, and that's like, oh, okay, you're a cat. And people are like separating into groups. But where I'm from, everybody that was in fourth grade at the time, no matter what school you were going to in our county, we were all combined into one school. Excuse me. We were all combined into one school. And so we were all together. And so like it was not so much of like the middle school, high school dynamic, where there was like, you have your jocks, you have like the peppy kids, you have the band kids, you have the athletic kids, you have the goths. Like you didn't have the cliques. We were all just kind of one big family almost. Yeah, we had different floors. Boy, if I can remember the names, I think there was Eagles. I can't remember the other ones. I think I was an Eagle. I was on the top floor. I don't remember. But yeah, so we had different levels, but we were all together. I was a troublemaker in 5th grade. I'll have to do a video on that later. I was always in the principal's office. I had the police there once. Yeah, I was a bad kid, but it was fun. And then we all moved to 6th grade, which was middle school, and everyone separated into groups. We had the people who were in track, we had the people who were in band. We had all the groups, all the cliques that you can imagine. But for me, I was kind of stuck in the middle because I had joined band, and I was a band kid. I mean, I am a band kid. I was a band kid. Always will be a band kid. I played trombone, and it was a great time. I love band. Not all the time that I love band, but most of the time I did. And I was also an athlete. I ran soccer. I was in soccer. I ran track. I was in the swim, dive team. Was that it? I think that's it. Yeah. But I also did like theater as well. So like I was kind of like friends with nobody, but friends with everybody, if that makes any sense. Because I was like, the band kids would be like, oh, you're a jock, so we don't really want to hang out with you outside of the band room. And the athletes were like, oh, you're a band kid, we don't really want to hang out with you outside of like the locker room. So it was kind of tough for me growing up. Anyways, back to the point of this video. And since I was a band kid, and I was good at expressing my emotions and everything, everyone just kind of assumed that, well, he's probably gay, because I'm out there. I'm a little odd. I'm out there. I'll admit it. Take pride in that. But I also grew up. At some point, my parents had sent my brother and my sister away to boarding school, and then my dad was really no longer present. So I grew up with my mother. I grew up cooking, cleaning, doing gardening, spending all my time pretty much with my family and my mother and my grandmother and I didn't spend much time with my grandfather, but pretty much my grandma, my mother and my grandma. So I spent a lot of my time with females, and so that's kind of how I grew up and how I like developed who I am by doing all those things that like typically a female would do. You know what I mean? And so kids started defining me as gay, and I'm like, it didn't ever really stick. And I was like, to me, it stuck. It stuck in school. It stuck. They're like, oh yeah, James is a big old faggot. James is gay. James faggot, fag. But still, I was cool with people. It wasn't like I was totally outcasted, but I was never really totally accepted either. But it never stuck to my personality, to myself. Because I was like, am I? And then I rewinded in my mind to where I was like, well, I was rejected in 3rd, 4th grade, so maybe that's my sexuality. So then like I defined myself as gay pretty much through middle school until probably high school. 8th grade. So 6th to 8th grade. Because I remember I had another attraction. At this point, I never experienced attraction towards guys. So I hit 8th grade, and I experienced another attraction, but this was also for the opposite sex, female. And I was like, okay, let's try this again. It's been a few years. Let's try this again. And so I go up to this girl. I'm not gonna name her name either. And I was like, hey, you're really cool. You wanna get to know each other? You wanna like go out? I don't know what I was expecting to do. I was an 8th grader. I can't even drive at this point. But I was like, she's cool. I want to get to know her. Again, hands down, like rejected. Like, and this rejection was more like not even like, it wasn't just a no. It was like no, and then like a laugh. Like it was to me, being an 8th grader, it was like so rude and so like off-putting that I was like, why would I even try doing that again? Sorry about that. Got a notification. So like I never really tried again, and like high school hit, and everybody was more spread out, and so like I didn't even have the friends I had in 8th grade, and that was only a year difference. So I was like, oh my gosh, like what do you want to do? I don't have anybody. I don't have friends, and no one seems to be interested in me. Excuse me. So I was like struggling my freshman year, and that's when the onset of my depression started, and I'll get into that in a different video. And I was kind of like, I let people define me, and like I said, the title gay stuck, and everyone was like, oh, you're gay. I'm like, am I? Am I? You tell me. I don't know. I mean, I am more of a feminine guy because like I grew up with females, so like I can't deny the fact that like I have feminine traits and feminine qualities, but I'm also not like 100% feminine. You understand where I'm coming from? You get where I'm coming from. But I let people define me in high school, and I didn't really have a solid identity. I just kind of floated through high school. Other than like music-wise, I excelled. I was in all the state band, state choir, all the elite choirs that I could be in. I did that because that was where I was good, what I was good at. I mean, I also ran state track, but whatever. But I just let people define me, and I never really knew who I was. And going through, I was like, I didn't know. I never really experienced anything. So I was kind of like, okay, sure, if that's what you say, sure. And like, I never really stood up for myself either. I wasn't like, no, this is injustice. Like, no, I didn't do that either. I just kind of, like I said, I let people define me as whatever they wanted to think that I was. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then fast forwarding, I graduate, and I'm like, well, at this point, I had like experienced attraction to like a select person who was a guy, but also I still have this problem. If someone pays me any amount of attention, like my heart just like jumps in, it's like, ah, and it just gets attached. And like I said, I wasn't really close to anybody through high school, except for this one person, and he became my best friend, so like the attraction eventually died. But I was kind of like, okay, I was attracted to him. Does that make me gay? And then I discovered that there was like just bisexuality, and I was like, oh, maybe that's what I am. Maybe I'm bisexual. And so like I defined myself like that for the longest time. I was like, well, I have this one attraction to this guy. And then I moved to college, the first college I went to, and that was an experience. I was like, I'm finally free of this small town, although I ended up moving from a small town and going to college in an even smaller town. Silly me. And I was just like, okay, I can experiment with everything. I can do whatever I want. And so I started just experimenting with everything. Not proud of it. I mean, I was caught. So I'm not incriminating myself, but I'm not proud. But I used to, shoplift. I used to shoplift stuff. Because I didn't have a job while I was on campus, and so like I needed things, but I had no money to get them, and so I was kind of like struggling, and so I was like shoplifting, and then like it became like an addiction for me. So I started shoplifting just random things, and I started shoplifting makeup, and that really got me into like doing like makeup, because I was like, well, I have this makeup that I didn't really need. Might as well use it. So like I started experimenting with like clothing and makeup, and I was like, nothing ever really fit. I experimented with like having wigs and like things that I thought were like stereotypically gay things to do, and I was like, these aren't really me. Like I don't feel like this is me. And so like I grew out of those phases, and I mean I in the process, I alienated myself because everyone's like, what the heck is wrong with this kid? Like, this kid is weird. Like, we're not gonna hang out with him, we're not gonna talk to him. So like, I alienated myself, and it was a terrible experience at that college. I can't say I didn't make friends, but it was not a good experience. And I was like, okay, well, doses. So I ended up dropping out, which is another story, again, for another time. And then I ended up coming back, but I ended up having to withdraw from both semesters because my grades were literally crap. Literally crap. And so I was like, what do I do now? So I was like, well, time to change colleges again. So I switched colleges again, changed my major to music therapy. And again, I was still kind of like in like experimental mode where I was kind of like, I don't know, what should I do? And I had a gay roommate, and he was literally awesome. He was like the slice of heaven. We were like best friends, and we were still really good friends. But at this point, I had my own place. I had my own apartment, so I was like, okay. So I like began to like experiment with men, and again, it was just not a fulfilling experience. It was not like, this is me, this is what I want. And when I look farther down the line in my life, a 5-year, 10-year plus plan, I never see myself dating a guy. I never see myself marrying a guy, having a family with a guy. Like, that's not, and it's not internalized homophobia or anything. It's just, that's not what I want. But I've been defined as being gay and bisexual my whole life. But that's really not me. You know what I mean? I hope you guys are understanding this. But also, while I was at the previous college, I was also like trying to like ask girls out that I knew and stuff like that. So I was leaning both ways, you know what I mean? So I was like, well, maybe I am bi. And it was just rejection. Like I said, I alienated myself, so that made it probably some of my fault. But at the same time, it would have been nice just to have a chance. Oh yes. I was in college, at that college, the previous college, one of my really good friends that I used to really like, I used to call her up all the time in high school and talk to her, and I thought we were going to be something, and that didn't turn out either. Oh wells. And then I met another friend at that college who I also was interested in, but she wasn't interested in me. So I mean, it's kind of a repeating pattern, and so like I just went with what was easier for me. I found that like guys found me more attractive, and then even if they didn't, they gave me at least a chance. Where most females just would say no and move on, whether that be because I was feminine, because I was black, because people define me as bisexual or gay. You name it, I was just not getting anywhere on the female part, but like guys were like, oh, you're attractive, oh, you're cool. So I was like, oh well, this is easy. Like, they want me, so why not sit with that? Like, I don't have to be lonely and depressed, and I can just hang out with these guys who find me attractive and find me interesting, because females sure don't. And so like that developed in my mind was like, well, maybe I am gay, maybe I am bi, but it was like always in the back of my mind I was like, no, it's just I can't find a girl who wants me to be more than like their best friend, and if they automatically assume that I'm bi or I'm gay, they're like, oh my gosh, go shopping with me, do my hair, do this, and it's like, no, like, why? But that was my identity, and that's what I defined myself as, because that's what other people define me as, and so that's what I went with. But the more that I'm discovering who I am and trying to define myself, I'm coming back to the fact that it's like, I'm just scared of rejection. Everybody is scared of rejection. But it was so easy for like to pick up guys and have guys be interested in me. It's like, why not just stick with what's easy, then keep getting rejected over and over and over again, and having the feeling of not being good enough. But like now it's starting to take a toll where I'm like, I'm tired of like pretending to be something that I'm not. And like, again, like my personality isn't fake. Like I am a feminine guy. Straight people can be feminine. Like, I'm sorry to burst your bubble if you don't think so, but straight men aren't always the types who are like out on the basketball field, are always in a fight, or like for their hat back, dude, what's up? I mean, I could do this all day, bro. Like, no, that's not every straight person isn't the same. That's a stereotype. And it's like, to not be given a chance because you have feminine qualities is so beyond annoying and so beyond judgmental. And so like, I've developed in my brain that like, okay, well, females are just really, really freaking judgmental, and why would I want to do anything with them anyways? But the more that I'm seeing my friends like getting in long-term relationships or like getting married, and it's like, that's what I want. And I don't want that with a guy. I want that with a female. Because that's what I've always wanted. And I just let people change my mind and define me, and I know in my heart that that's what it is. And again, I hope this is making sense, and it's not clickbait, and I'm really just trying to explain what is going on in my mind, and in my heart. So yeah, I've just come to the reality that it's like, yes, I've had experiences with men, but at the end of the day, I know like it was an experiment type thing. And I was like, I'm back where it's like, I just want love. I just want someone to accept me. And I just took the easy way out and took where everyone defined me, and I took what was easy to get, even though that's not necessarily what I wanted. I settled. And I'm tired of settling. I really am. I like, when I look in the future, I see myself standing at the end of the aisle, and I see my wife coming down the aisle dressed to the nines, like a gorgeous dress. And it's just like, and I'm standing there feeling like the luckiest guy in the world. And we have our house, and we have like kids, and we have dogs, and like it's a dream, and it doesn't feel like it'll ever be a reality for me, because it's just like I always get rejected because people just automatically assume, and they don't want to give me a chance. But you know, that's what I'm dealing with. But I just want to be honest. I want to be open. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll link my social media down in the description. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will talk about the other topics that I alluded to, like 5th grade, dropping out of school. I will talk about all of that in more videos. So if you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe. Peace out. Davey.